Good morning, everyone. Can everyone see me and hear me? Little wave? Yes? Okay. Good morning, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us this week. Wanted to touch base. I'm Jennifer from Sensational Kids. Just want to touch base on some of the details on today's call. We are going to be recording so that we can send it to you and also people who weren't able to join us live today. So because we're recording, I'm going to have all of us on mute so that there aren't any background noises or distractions while we're on the call. Because we're going to be muted, we're going to use the chat box to communicate during the call. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, there should be a toolbar. And if you click chat down, at least for my computer, the right side of my computer will open up a chat box. Allison will be asking for some feedback during the call and then some questions later. So you can use that chat box to communicate during the call. If it's comfortable for you and you have the availability, if you can have a space where you can lie down on either a mat or even just a towel is perfect. We're going to do some practice today on the floor if you're able to lie down. Perfectly fine to do it in your chair if that's better for you. So sit back, relax. If you can grab a glass of water as well, and we will get started in just a moment. Thanks all.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. If you're on the East Coast, happy noontime. It's really nice to see all of you today. As we were Jennifer and I were starting to sign in today, I was thinking, I never sent a reminder email to people about this, so I hope people remember and they come. So thank you for coming. So today we are going to be doing some actual practices. Part of the reason why I decided to just dive into the body today is because, I always like to make everything relevant. Right now it's relevant for my life, and my life, I need it. So I'm assuming that all of you need it in some way as well. The purpose of these calls really is about self-care. And one of the best ways that we can remember to take care of ourselves throughout the day, every day, is if we take the time to consciously remind ourselves of how good it feels and the shift that can happen when we have like a set time. So if you've been on these calls for, I think this is like our 5th or 6th week, that I can't believe that we've been here this long. We're doing this is I talk a lot about how to infuse compassionate self-care just throughout the day, whether it's remembering to take a breath or challenging the thoughts that you have, or reframing the things that you do in your everyday as being self-care. That's probably one of the most powerful things that you could do. So for example, there are things that you do every day, like make your cup of coffee, drink your cup of coffee, take a shower, some other cooking. For some of you, it's cooking. That these are things that you truly do enjoy every day, but because we do them every day, we take them for granted. We do them on autopilot. So I challenge you and I offer you this perspective of, can you look at those things as, I'm doing this for me because it feels good, because it's fun, because I get to do this alone in a quiet space and I can do it slowly and it can nourish me. So for today, what we're going to do is nourishing our body, being conscious of our breath and of our mind chatter together. So you could see behind me, well, that's my chair. I've created a space on my mat. Hopefully you have a space that you can go to and still hear me. You won't even necessarily need to see me. I will speak everything that I'm doing and give you as precise instructions as possible so that you can be in your own moment, in your own body, rather than thinking of this as you need to watch me and what I'm doing. Let it be an opportunity for you to just listen to my words, but tune into you. So before we get started over on the mat, I just want to ask everybody, how are you doing this week? How was it? Is what you're doing as a parent, administrator, healthcare worker, educator, is it getting a little easier? Are you finding more routines, or is it still challenging because, or maybe more challenging because you are meeting different challenges? Circle of impact expanding. Nicole, yes. Yeah. And for those of you that work in schools, your circle, it's not just your family or your neighborhood, it's your whole school community. So I'm feeling that as well. Kim, yeah, kids are feeling it more. Yeah, Courtney, your team is bringing their A game. That's so amazing. Yeah, that's so amazing. I'm finding that as well. Sometimes when we're met with challenge, we're able to kick it into gear and do what has to be done despite everything else. And we're actually, in some cases, able to hyper focus on what needs to get done amidst all of the distraction that's around. And we're able to do that more than we are in our typical or old normal. Becoming more challenging with students. I would love to, and actually for those of you that are educators, tell me if you would be interested in this, of having a talk about what the challenges are with virtual teaching and some of the things that you've found to close the gap of those challenges. Because what in speaking to people that are, virtually teaching, and parents that are on the teaching monitoring with young kids especially, what I'm recognizing as being one of the biggest challenges beyond figuring out how do I get all my content online, it's how do you connect? Because those of you that are educators, how, Kelly, I see you shaking your head. Those of you that are educators, how essential it is for you to emotionally connect with your kids. And how do you do that in a virtual platform? So if anybody is interested in having a conversation about that, maybe we'll, Jennifer, if you could write that down, maybe we'll put that together, because I have some specific ideas about that I would love to share, but I'd love to hear what everybody else is doing. Bunny, this week has been more challenging and stressful, more to do, and it isn't novel anymore. Yeah, and I think that that's not only in a school type of setting, teaching, but also in homes. I know in my home, I have a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old at home. And in the beginning, yeah, it's fun. We're all together. Now it's like, they're like, can I get the hell out of here? Like, I just want to go back to my life. Yeah, I mean, it's just the reality. And Helene, but the isolation is difficult. Yeah. Danielle, finding a balance between working from home, caring for children. Yeah. And meeting everyone's needs. And here's what's really, really important for all of us to understand. We are not responsible for meeting everyone's needs. I'm going to say that again. We are not responsible for meeting everyone's needs. That is an impossible task. What we are responsible for is meeting our own. And that takes understanding what our needs are. And I don't even want to use the word prioritizing them, but honoring them and finding the time to meet those needs. And when you do, you have a greater capacity to organically meet the needs of others. Because probably what you're finding is what a lot of people need is emotional support right now. Put in the chat if you think that that's true. Emotional support. They just need to talk. They want to know somebody's there. They want to be heard. They'd love to be held. Yeah, it's emotional. But if we don't fulfill our own emotional reservoir, and this is where self-care is absolutely essential right now, then helping others emotionally is draining. But you'll find that if you can tap into your own energy, fill up your own emotional reservoir, then the energy is just abundant. So while you are freely giving to others, it is coming back to you. And that you can only be open to that if you're taking care of yourself. If you are becoming depleted emotionally, energetically, physically, you're cut off from that continual source of energy. So it's like you're giving, and you become emotionally tapped out. Yes, Danielle, social, emotional needs come first. They absolutely do. And I find it so interesting, you know, working with schools and with families on addressing social and emotional needs of students and teaching SEL curriculum. I'm actually teaching in an online conference now this weekend on social emotional learning and mindfulness. But if we don't do this for ourselves, you can't give it. You cannot give it. So again, self-care for ourselves is just, it's essential. Kim, your 5-year-old isn't interested in the virtual platform with her class or friends, shuts down. I would say probably 80% of the kids are shutting down. It's totally like not normal. It's not their norm. And everybody's doing the best they can. You are doing the best you can with what you got. You are doing amazing. It is not going to be perfect. It is going to be dirty. It is going to be messy. There's going to be so many mistakes. And I think parents need to recognize, and teachers need to recognize that some kids are going to click with this. A majority of them aren't, because it's neurologically not appropriate how we're doing this. Last night I was on the phone with my sister-in-law who has a 9-year-old, and he has attentional issues, and she's just like this. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess in her house. She says, because she goes, I have a room for him. It's just for him. He could sit there. I'm nearby. And she's telling me this like beautiful setup that she has. And I said, yeah, if he was 18, that would be like perfect. He's 9. How do you make an online platform appropriate, a setup appropriate for a 9-year-old? You guys don't have any guidelines for that, right? You're just doing the best you can with what you got, and it's okay. I hope you guys write this down. I am doing the best I have with what I've got, and it's okay. It is enough. It is enough. Because when you lighten up on yourself, and this is all about creating ease within your mind and your body, softening. You on the fly will come up with great solutions to things. And you'll make these minor adjustments that'll make all the difference. But when you live in self-doubt, and when you live in this mindset of like, this is ridiculous, this doesn't work, I'm not doing it right. When you live in all these negatives and can'ts and shoulds, you cut yourself off from that ability that you innately have to just be guided and flow through it and come up with the solutions. Again, this is why self-care is so important. You need to find ways to ease up on yourself. And it's not just here. It is not. It is every system of your body. Nicole, you keep saying that. 100% agree. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Nicole, balancing expectations with acceptance. Yeah. Sometimes the only expectation I like to have on things is that I expect something great is going to come from this. That's the only expectation I try to place on things. Because if your expectation is, I expect all my kids to sit there and listen, I expect my kids to brush their teeth on, if you're putting expectations on others, that actually is like you creating their goal and you want them to make those changes. But when you have an expectation that's positive and open, you are inviting more opportunities to see how that's coming in. Does that make sense? That's like a really big concept. You hope like positivity is contagious. Positivity is contagious. It's totally contagious. Yeah, what is expected of you with work? Any great employer right now is expecting everybody to do the best you possibly can with what you have. Because unless you've been doing this online stuff for years, they don't know what they're doing either, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so why don't we get started? How about we all move over to our mat? We're gonna lay down on the floor. If you would like to close off your video and really just make this about just listening and getting to your own space, that's totally fine. When we come back together in the end, I'm gonna ask you to turn your video back on so that we can end all together. And I'm gonna move all the way back onto my mat. I think that angle is good. Let's see if there we go. All right, so come onto your back and bend your knees and put your feet on the floor. I'm gonna loosen my ponytail here so the back of my head can rest on the floor. And let's begin with our hands down on the floor. And if you're staying in your chair, that's perfectly fine. What I'm going to say once here, but I want you to remember, is everything that we are doing right now, I can't see all of you, so I don't know what your body position is. So I'm trusting that you are listening to your body and you are doing what is comfortable for you, what is safe for you, and what helps you feel good in your body. If you feel that something is too much, it's causing pain, back off. We're going to be very gentle here, but you are the best observer of your experience and the wisest in terms of knowing what is good for your body. So trust that. All right, so gently close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. Allow your body to rise and fall with your breath. So as you breathe in, you'll notice that the front of your body rises up towards the ceiling. And on your exhale, it gently falls, sinking you a little bit deeper into the earth. And just notice what part of your body you could soften a little bit more as we breathe in and out here a few more times. So is it your thighs? Are you gripping onto your thighs? Is it your hips? Is it your belly? What about your shoulders? Can you soften your shoulders just a little bit more? Letting your shoulder blades just rest on the floor. How about your neck? Are you holding in your neck at all? Or your jaw? How about your eyelids? And your forehead? Can you soften your forehead? And just continue to breathe softly. Perhaps you imagine your breath is like the wave of an ocean. As you breathe in, the wave rises. As you breathe out, it just crashes along the shore. And then together, take a deep breath in through your nose. So breathe in. And then breathe out through your mouth, like you're blowing a candle. Let's do that one more time. Breathe in through your nose. And blow out the candle. And come back to breathing in and out through your nose. And we're going to start to lift our pelvis slightly off of the floor. So as you breathe in, you're going to push into your feet go into the floor, and begin to rock your pelvis. You're going to rock your pelvis back into the floor as you lift your bum off the floor slightly. Okay, and then you're going to roll up your spine. Think of your spine as like a fruit roll-up, and you're peeling that fruit roll-up off of the wrapper. And then as you exhale, imagine that segment by segment, you're placing that fruit roll-up back onto that plastic paper. So we're just rolling our spine here very gently. So your breath in, you begin to peel your spine off of the floor. And this is very gentle. We're just lifting until we're by like the shoulder blades. Then exhale, roll your spine back onto the mat. So we're going to do this a few more times. Move at your own pace. And this could be very subtle movement. It might be that you just feel the rocking of your pelvis and lifting just a tiny little bit. That's perfectly fine. We're creating space here in the spine, which creates more flexibility of the spine. For myself, I've been doing a lot of sitting and writing, so my lower back is a little tender, so I'm being very gentle here with my lower back. I'm moving very slowly, but you're moving with your breath, breathing in as you lift up and breathing out as you roll back down. Now you may want to try this with your hands on the mat and with your hands placed on your belly. Just see what feels good to you. Just a couple of options for you to experiment. And then bring your spine back onto the mat. Make any adjustment that feels good to you. Maybe you even lengthen your spine along the mat now because you've created a little bit of space. And place both of your hands on your belly. And what we're going to be doing is some alternating movements of reaching one foot away from our body and one arm, the opposite arm, away from our body. That's going to be our inhale. So you inhale, you're stretching opposite arm and opposite leg away from your body. As you exhale, you're going to bring that hand and your arm and your foot back to your starting position. So inhale, you reach the opposite side now away. Exhale, bring your foot and your hand back. Do that a few more times. Inhaling, reaching away, opposite hand and foot. Exhale, bring them back to the floor in your belly. Inhale, opposite foot and hand reach away. Exhale, hand and foot come back. So keep going at your own pace, but you're using your breath, stretching, and then coming back to that resting position. See if you can hear your breath as you breathe in and out. Let your breath now sound like the ocean. Know that when you build your capacity to fully breathe in and fully breathe out, you're actually helping, supporting your immune system. Very helpful during this time, having a healthy immune system. Okay, last one, big breath in, stretch, big breath out. Hand comes back to your belly, foot comes back to the floor. And now we're going to be rocking our legs side to side like windshield wipers. So your back stays along the mat, but you're rocking your knees to one side, and then you're lifting them up and they rock to the other side. So it's like your legs are windshield wipers. And what's happening here is we're getting some rotation in our spine, very gentle rotation. Now add your breath to this. You can inhale in one direction, exhale in the other. If your hands are on your belly, let them glide along your belly as you're rotating side to side. It's like you're giving your belly a nice massage. You may even find that your hands glide over your rib cage as well. Just notice what that feels like. And now rock all the way over onto one side and let your whole body come onto that one side. Rest for a moment. And then slowly walk your hands up, walk your body up, coming to a seated position, move slowly. You don't want to get dizzy. Just going to fix my ponytail. All right, let's come to all fours. So look at your base of support. You want your wrists to be under your shoulders. You want your knees to be directly under your hips. And we're going to be doing some cat-cow movements. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your hips and lift your head towards the ceiling. It's like you're creating a smile in your spine. And then as you exhale, push into the floor. You're going to round your back like a scaredy cat. Your chin comes towards your chest. So you inhale, look up, that's a smile. You exhale, you round like a cat, like you're creating a rainbow with your spine. So keep moving in both directions at your own pace, making sure that you're using your breath. Your breath guides the movement. Then inhale, come to a flat back. And as you exhale, you're going to rest your hips on your feet, walk your hands forward, and your head will come down towards the floor. Now, it is fine if your bottom doesn't come all the way to your feet. It's fine if your head doesn't come all the way to the floor. Okay, what we're looking for here is elongating the muscles of the back and the arm. You're stretching the armpit. You might even feel a little stretch in your hips. Some options here, if you have any pillows, you can put a pillow on your feet. So you could still rest your bum, but it's raised. And you can even have a pillow by your forehead. So it's like you're lifting up the floor. Okay, even if you don't have these items with you right now, you can try this later. If you have any blocks work really well here, or firm pillows. And you're just going to take a few breaths here. Nice, deep, long breaths. As you're breathing in and out, see if you can send air to fill your lungs, stretching your rib cage. So you might feel your ribs moving to the left and to the right. And then as you exhale, pull your belly button in. Get all the air out. And then inhale, come to all fours again. And we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So you're going to turn your, curl your toes under. Take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, you're going to push into the floor and lift your hips up towards the ceiling. So you're in an upside down V position. Your heels are reaching towards the earth, but it's fine if your heels are far from the earth. That's fine. Most likely you feel a nice stretch. I say a nice stretch, but you feel a stretch on the back of your legs, your hamstrings, your heel cords. You probably feel your arms working to hold you up. We're just going to do 2 big full breaths here, but we're going to do them like a dragon's breath. So inhale through your nose, then open your mouth, stick out your tongue really far, and exhale. This is great for detoxification. Let's do that one more time. Big breath in. Open your mouth, stick out your tongue, exhale. Closing your mouth, come to a natural breath, breathing in and breathing out. and gently come onto your knees, sitting back on your heels. Okay, we're just going to do a gentle flow movement here. So as you inhale, you're going to lift your arms all the way up. As you exhale, you're going to come into that child's pose. As you inhale, then you're going to come into all fours. As you exhale, you'll come into the down dog. So I'll walk you through that again. So come back down onto your knees, onto your feet. So it's inhale, lift up. Exhale, you're in a child's pose. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, down dog. We're moving very slowly. Inhale, back down to all fours. Exhale, come sit on your heels. Okay, we'll do that again. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, come into child's pose. Inhale, come to all fours. Exhale, come into down dog. Inhale, all fours. Exhale, come back and sit on your heels. We'll do that one more time. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out, child's pose. Breathe in, all fours. Breathe out, down dog. Breathe in, all fours. Breathe out, come and sit on your heels. Okay, just staying here, let's take a moment to check in again. And just notice how our body feels after those few rounds of just moving and breathing. And if you prefer to do this sitting in a chair, or sitting with your legs crossed in front of you, or staying with your bottom on your heels, any posture is fine. You just want to be able to be relaxed enough so that you can tune in, turn in, tune in, and notice. Notice if you've created any space in your body or in your breath that maybe was a little stuck before or tight before. And then gently open your eyes. And let's come and sit on our mat with our legs crossed. Just going to check our time here. Nice. Okay. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of side bending here. So you're going to inhale your arms out to the side. Exhale, lean over to one side, keeping your hips level on the floor and really getting a nice stretch again through the armpit, through the rib cage, and the whole side of your body. Inhale, arms out to the side, parallel with the floor. Exhale, over to the other side. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Inhale again. Exhale, over to the side. Inhale, arms parallel with the floor. Exhale, big exhale. One more time, each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale And exhale. Inhale, bring your hands back down to the mat. You're going to take one leg and stretch it out a little bit to the side and front, like at a 45-degree angle. Your other foot can stay bent. We're going to take a big breath in, and we're gently going to come forward. Okay, you don't have to bring your hands all the way down to the floor. Okay, we're just going to be leaning forward, getting a nice stretch on the inside of our leg and our hip. Okay, inhale, come all the way up. Now you're going to rotate your body, and you're going to do the same thing coming over your leg. Okay, you could flex that foot, and you're going to come as far as what's comfortable for you. Some people will be all the way down holding their foot. The idea is you want to keep your body long. So my spine is still long, I'm not rounding, and I'm keeping my leg long and allowing the back of my leg to stretch, to feel a nice stretch. Again, inhale, lift your arms all the way up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Rotating back to the center, let your hands come down, and we're going to switch feet. So bring your other foot in and your other leg, make it nice and long, again at that 45-degree angle. Inhale, your arms all the way up. Now I'm much tighter on this side. Exhale, forward, whatever is comfortable for you. You don't want to overstretch. You sort of want your hamstrings and heel cords to just say like, oh yeah, I'm here, I feel that. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, come all the way up, and now we're going to rotate so that your trunk is in the same direction as your leg. Exhale, over that leg, foot is flexed. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, all the way up, rotating back to the center. Exhale, your arms all the way down. Okay, now you're going to create a comfortable V position with your legs. This will look different for everyone. You're going to inhale your arms all the way up. Rotate your body over one leg. Exhale, hands come down. Here you can round your back. Okay. Inhale all the way up. Twist to the other direction. Exhale, round your back over the other leg. Inhale up. Exhale down. 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 One more each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, notice we're moving with a rhythm. Exhale. Inhale all the way up. Stretch those arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale your arms down and just shake your legs a little bit as you bring them in. All right. So now just to end this practice, since we started laying down, I'm going to end in a seated position. But if you feel that you would rather lay down on your back for a relaxation, that's fine. You choose. Remember, you are the best judge of what's right for you in any situation. So practice that here. So before we start, just ask yourself, would I prefer these last few minutes to end laying down on my back, or would I prefer to be seated? All right, and we're going to gently come to a quiet position, gently closing your eyes. Placing one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. Again, an opportunity to turn in and tune in. We begin by tuning into our breath. Each breath that we take in invites whatever we feel that we need in. Every breath that we take out lets go of whatever we've been holding on to that we don't need. So as you breathe in, perhaps you breathe in love, patience, wisdom, kindness. When you breathe out, perhaps you breathe out the shoulds or the doubt or the anger or the fear. So decide for yourself, what would you like to breathe more of in? And what would you like to let go of with your out breath? If you find that your mind is wandering, just thank your mind for wanting to keep you busy, but tell your mind that you are holding on to what we're doing right now. And then place both hands on your heart. Think of something that you are very grateful for. Could be a person, could be an event. What are you grateful for? And together, take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. And before you open your eyes, remind yourself that although the world is filled with lots of noise, lots of distractions, lots of uncertainty, and many challenges, you are fully equipped to handle what comes your way. You have the wisdom and the strength and the power within you to figure it out, to manage, to be compassionate with yourself, understanding and forgiving of yourself, to get through this. We will all get through this. The question is, will we come out the other side wiser, or will we continue to be stuck in our old habits that perhaps did not serve us? So one last breath together. Breathe in and breathe out. And relax your hands in your lap and slowly flutter your eyes open. And let's see if we can make our way back onto our chairs or just in front of our computer so that we can come to the chat feature again. Anybody with yoga hair from that? Last week we did a lot of really brisk, powerful movement and breath, and we all came back and put our video back on, and we had some people with hair out to here. It was fun. It was fun. All right. So can everybody put in one word that you were bringing in? One word that you were taking in, one word of something you were letting go of. What do you want more of within you? And what do you want to release and let go of? More patience, less worry. Kindness, more strength, less fear. Less soaking up tension from others and being present. Yeah. Great, great. Keep putting them in. What I suggest is that you write down these two words someplace where you'll see them so that you'll be reminded that in your calm state, this is what your deeper knowing is wise enough to inform you that you need. Because in the rush of our day and the overwhelm, we tend to forget what our wise self, what our intuitive self knows. When we are more relaxed, we're more in touch with and connected to that part of ourselves. And then here's the other thing is, I think that we probably all have the tendency to maybe catch ourselves when we're not being gracious, or we're not being confident, or we're being that stressed out or that worrisome self. And we quickly judge ourselves and say, like, I should be doing this. I should be doing that, or I shouldn't allow myself to think this. And if you can catch yourself in the self-talk with the word should, if you could just change that one word from should to can. So for example, if you find that your word was patience, right? And then an hour from now, you're talking to somebody and your patience is like this, right? And you're like, oh, I should be patient. My word today was patient. I should be patient. You could change that word to can. I can be patient. Okay, because all of these things, you have them within yourself, right? So if you could remind yourself that it's merely a choice. Should means that it's coming from some other place. Can is empowering yourself. I can. Now, you could say, yeah, I can, but I don't want to right now. Okay, that's fine. But can is self-empowering. Should is you're being told by somebody else. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. Yeah, Courtney, a therapist told you once you shouldn't, shoulda on your life. Yeah, so one of my yoga teachers used to say, shit the shoulds. Yeah, that always stuck with me. Yes, Nicole, it is a toxic word, So I hope today was helpful to you. That is always my intent, that everything that we share together on these calls, it is helpful, it is healing. I love to hear from you, whether it's in the chat or you want to reach out to us later. If there's something specific that you would like me to cover, if there's something that you feel that you need that maybe on these past 5 calls or so we didn't get to touch upon, the best way for me to serve you is to know what it is that you need. Pretty much everything that I do is, you know, I've said this many times on the call, it's like kind of like what I need, because I'm you guys. I'm doing the same types of, you know, scary things out there, serving youth, and I'm serving others. So if you ever want to reach out and let us know what else you need, or maybe it's just this, it's what we've been doing, and that's great too. Does anybody have any questions for me for this week? And it does not need to be related to what we just talked about today. Yeah, Nicole, I'm glad that we do these at the end of the week. I sort of designed it that way, that the end of the week you end with a nice release. Just so you all know, I also then go on Facebook on Monday morning off of the Sensational Kids page, Monday mornings at 9, because I want to also give you a quick reminder of how to start your week off in a positive mindset and heart set. So the Facebook Lives are only about 10 minutes long, but if you'd like to tune in, if you go onto our Facebook page of Sensational Kids, you'll get a reminder for that. All right, the conference, any details? Oh, so it was supposed to be a live conference. I speak at it every year. It's the National Kids Yoga Conference that it's held in Washington, D.C. It actually started today. If you wanted just more information about that, if you go on the Sensational Kids website and you go into trainings, it always lists my speaking events too. It's on there, and you could just click. You don't have to purchase it, but you could just click and read about it. And certainly, if you wanted to attend, it's this afternoon through Sunday, but you could find the details there. All right, and if nobody has any other questions, I'm going to send you deep love and appreciation for all of you, for everything that you've been doing for everybody else, and for spending this time to give to yourself. You're so worth it. You are so valuable. And I'm just really honored to be part of teaching you how to do that and remember that. So please stay in touch with us. Come back next week. I don't know what we're going to do yet next week, but I can't wait to see you. And have a great weekend. Bye.